Duns beautiful people. Hi everybody, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to Duns Beautiful People. I am your hostess. Okay, my name is Dun Stedler. If you haven't done so, please, I'm gonna ask you to subscribe to my channel, share my hospice videos, okay, with your loved ones, with any caregivers, okay, because this is how we could spread the word around the world, okay. I need you guys to reach as many people as possibly. I'm doing my part, so I need y'all to do your part, because there's always somebody who is taking care of somebody who's dying. You know, it's a natural part of life, like I said. So we really need to be knowledgeable and know what to expect, and know the help, the resources that are out there in the community. All right, that being said, I would love to share another story with you, my Duns beautiful people, okay, because I have gathered so many great stories along the years, okay, and I just want to share my experiences. Of course, I'm going to disguise the names and things like that, but this is going to make it more personal feel, you know, so that you can kind of get an insight of the lives of the caregivers and the patients, and just so you know, it could bring more of a realistic situational, I guess, eventful knowledge. One day during my routine visits, I was assigned to go to an assisted living. All right. And so, you know, I checked in, I went in, I told them who I was, you know, I went in to speak to the nurse at the facility, you know, to kind of get an update on how the patient's condition is doing. And, you know, just kind of get like you know, report on how, you know, the meds are, how effective the meds are, you know, how effective the treatment plan is, the plan of care, you know, just kind of things like that. Okay. So then I went inside of the patient's room, and the patient was sitting with her private caregiver, okay? So she was with her private caregiver, and the patient was actually laying down asleep, okay? I checked the patient, you know, while she was sleeping. I gently, you know, listened to her heart. I gently, you know, checked out her respiration, her bowel signs, you know, just my regular nursing assessments, all right? But get this. So while I was talking to the private caregiver, because at assisted livings, usually for the most part, when a patient is on hospice or at end of life, they become maxicists, meaning that they need a lot of care. Okay, and those of you who have had experiences with assisted livings, they are it's not a nursing home, you know, so that they can't take care of somebody who's kind of bedbound, okay, and who's risk of falling a lot and who needs a lot of medical attention. So in that case, what the family usually do, they would hire private caregivers, you know, somebody from outside who would come in and take care and watch over their loved ones, okay, while they still remain in the assisted living, okay. And so I was talking to the private caregiver. I was just, you know, asking her, you know, how much did Mrs. Smith, we'll call the patient Mrs. Smith. I was saying, you know, how much did Mrs. Smith eat? You know, did Mrs. Smith have a, you know, BM, bowel movement, any pain, things like that. And so during my conversation, get this, guy, just hold it. I'm getting to it. I just got to build up the scene, okay? So during my conversation with the private caregiver, okay, she goes, I have known this lady for years. And I was like, oh, really? Please share, you know? And so I sat down next to her, and she told me that, okay, about 20 years ago, okay, now listen now, this gets good. So she told me about 20 years ago, all right, she went on another assignment to a facility, okay, to another assisted living. And she said that that assisted living was huge, because it's like many different, it's sort of like a village, you know, so there's many different buildings and little townhouse, okay? So the private caregiver told me that She got so lost, okay? She was lost for like an hour. She could not find the room to where the patient was. She kept on going around, and then for some reason, she didn't think to stop to ask for help. So she was just going around from one place to another, and then they would, say, go here, go to that building. For some reason, nobody was able to help her, okay? But get this though, it gets good. It gets real good, okay? So while she was walking, all right, she said that a lady, and that lady at that time was the director of social worker in the facility, okay? The lady was the director of the social worker in the facility. Get this. The lady asked her, may I help you? Where are you going? And then she told the social worker, I am lost. I've been lost for, a very long time. I'm trying to get to such and such, building, and I can't seem to locate it. And she told me, the social worker grabbed her hand, like, gently took her hand and said, don't worry, I will bring you to your destiny, okay? So the social worker, the director of social worker of that whole facility, because that facility, she told me, was like very big, many, many different buildings. So the social worker took her hand and walked her to her direction, okay? Walk her to her destiny, okay? Took her to her building to the proper location, okay? And then she says that was such a blessing to her because she couldn't figure out the place. And then the social worker says, don't worry, this is my name, and my office is open to you. Anytime you want anything, just let me know. All right. And so the caregiver told me that lady was so nice to her, okay? And then she worked there for, I think she had that patient for maybe like, a few years, and then she moved on to another assignment, and then they never met, okay? 20 years ago. Fast forward now, okay? So, and then I was like, oh, okay, well, that's a very loving story, okay? And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, where's this going? She goes, that director of social worker is this patient right here. Is that patient that's, she told me that social worker who helped me to find my way, who was so nice to me, who was so kind to me, this is who she is. That's her laying down right now. I am taking care of her 20 years later. I'm her private caregiver. Oh my God, guys, that touched my heart, because who would have known that director of social worker had no idea 20 years later she was going to end up, on a hospice bed. And that lady she helped 20 years ago was going to be her main source of caregiver. And so the caregiver says, this assignment is very, very dear to her, because she knew the patient when the patient was vibrant, energetic. So my Duns beautiful people, I wanted to share this story with you because that's one of the stories that sticks with me throughout the years, because it helps me to put things into perspective. It helps me to make sure to check myself every interaction I have with somebody, to be kind, to show kindness, okay? You never know who's going to be taking care of you tomorrow. You never know who's going to be there for you at your lowest point in life. All right. So, yeah, that was a touchy subject, So these are the kind of interaction, the kind of stories, the kind of real life event that a hospice nurse, gets to be part of. Very special. Anybody out there, any other hospice nurses or, caregivers, please feel free to share a story too. I would love to hear from you. But yes, doing this kind of work, it really cancels out all the hatred, all the bigotry, the stereotypes, all that evil and demonic forces that are out there. It cancels it all out. You really get to see people as who we were created to be. We were all created to be great human beings, Christ-like. All right. So as always, my Duns beautiful people, I love you with the love of Jesus Christ. Please like and share And if you haven't done so, subscribe. Let's keep this topic going. Dance, beautiful people. Mwah. See you in the next video.